Andrew, if you're successful, what does Ether Machine look like a year from now, 2 years from now? And also in comparison to the other two competitors, do you have more ETH than Tom? Is that a win? Or what is a win for you?
So what I think is a win is actually we are the most efficient in two things. One is Ethereum generation per share, meaning that we have the ability to generate as much Ether as possible incrementally per share. And that's being done through staking, restaking, and DeFi, and the ability to issue financial instruments like preferred shares and converts. And we also do that with a lean, mean team. And we're not doing things like outsourcing the asset management for additional fees, which others may be doing. So that's kind of the first consideration, is being the best at generating Ether per share. Secondarily, I think a function of that will be accruing more Ether. And I think there is like a value to number one in terms of there's a lot of headlines around person number one, and we aspire to be number one. I also think there's Pepsi and Coke. There's Amazon, Google, and Microsoft Azure for clouds. And I think that there are going to be a handful of winners. And I think that we're maniacally focused on generating Ether concentration per share at the most minimal risk for our shareholders.
Peter Thiel took $500,000 and turned it into $1 billion using the exact same techniques we're using inside the investment club. He met a CEO, his name was Zuckerberg. He pitched him the deal and he said, okay, I'll give you $500,000. Mark went public and sold the shares to people like you. Well, what happened to Peter? Well, he exited and got a 2,300x return. The wealthy invest in early stage companies, folks. The public markets are for suckers. It's a rigged game. By the way, this happens in crypto as well. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is Solana. Does anybody know this chain? They sold pre-sale tokens for 4 cents. And you can see the date on there, April 5th, 2018. Look at Solana today, folks. That thing's up over 1,000x. The media and Wall Street and all these hype people get you to buy the top. Meanwhile, they put their clients in at the bottom and they use you for liquidity to make their clients rich. You can play this same game. You just have to have the financial education and the deal flow. That's it. Is there a point where one company can own too much ETH? Like 10%, 20%? Does that get a little bit?
Yeah, I think that like mathematically, that'll be very difficult. Because of just there are already enough players in the space that are acquiring. I do think that you're going to have kind of there's three of us that are multi-billion-dollar managers that will benefit from the economies of scale. And I think we'll have slightly differentiating and co-opetition, if you will, approaches. And we'll optimize for slightly different things. But I think that, there are a few of these that kind of went out with these kind of lower effort shells. And I think that they're going to have a very difficult time of raising additional incremental capital. And those may be roll-ups. But I do think we have to juxtapose the centralization vector, which I don't think anyone's going to get to. I don't think, crossing, even 10% becomes a centralization vector. And I don't think anyone's going to get there. MicroStrategy, for example, is at 3%. And just the, increase in price, from 3 months ago where Ether was at 2,500, now is at 4,500, that makes it all the more difficult to increase that percentage. But I'd say that with that said, we are also benefiting by explaining this to the world. And I think that there is a trade-off worth having, that as long as we don't get too concentrated, but we do have the ability to use the microphone to explain this to Main Street, whether it's on CNBC and Wall Street, whether it's sell side research that Citibank creates on, about our stock. Those are wins, right? And the sooner people are educated and the sooner people, go through that process, and cross the chasm on what are the use cases, start to use things like stable coins, start to use things like decentralized applications as they continue to mature, the better we're all off.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.